All right, guys, lucky for you, today you have review. Now, some of you, before you left my class, not last Friday, but the Friday before, were sort of joking about how e-learning will give you the opportunity to, cheat or to kind of cut corners in your education, which is really a bad idea, okay? Because at some point, people will find out what things you don't know. So today I'm giving you my plagiarism educational spiel. I know you've seen this before, that's why it's review. However, it is severely important because now with e-learning, if you don't sign into your classes and do the assignment for that day, you get a 0 for whatever's posted and you can't make up the points. But the rules of my classroom still apply in that if you plagiarize, if you cheat, if I assign you an essay and or anything and it looks the same as somebody else's, um, it's going to go straight to a 0. And I'm not going to let you make that up. So, some of you, if you're thinking that's going to be your major plan, you're going to be tanking your grades. So here we go, plagiarism, why it's bad. This is, you've seen this before, actual quotes from actual students, and this is when they were in school, right? The one I thought was most concerning, I guess, was I didn't think it was plagiarism if I just retyped it. Of course that's plagiarism. Plagiarism is stealing ideas, no matter how you do it, okay? So then the students who said these things, they were also talking about respect and how the teachers are always on their case and they don't respect them. Well, if you guys are openly admitting to, cheating or planning to cheat, then respect does get lost. Okay, so what is plagiarism? Maybe you are in the camp of people that don't know what it is. It's taking another person's ideas or work and claiming that it is yours. It's not yours. If you didn't write it, if you didn't come up with it, it ain't yours. So this comic brilliantly illustrates what plagiarism looks like, especially to the creator. It just looks like somebody took the thing they created and started claiming it as their own. Right? In case you were curious, there's my source on that. Okay, so here is not every single thing, but most of the things, vast majority of the things that count as plagiarism. If you are copy and pasting anything, you're probably plagiarizing, right? Entire pieces of work, chunks of work, sentences, and small pieces of work without credit. If you are retyping a piece of work, whether another student, or whether a source from online, that's plagiarizing. If you say, well, I put it into my own words or I just summarized it, and you're still using the original work's wording, that is plagiarism. You might know from essays and things and projects that you can paraphrase things, but you still have to be able to do citations on it. This one is probably going to be really prevalent with this e-learning stuff. Well, we were just working together. I was on FaceTime and we couldn't figure it out and we just wanted to work together. All right. If you have a question for one of your friends, or if you legitimately both have a problem that you don't understand, you can bounce ideas off of one another. However, you cannot just write the exact same thing as each other and call it good. All right. Because we don't know that you work together. We just think, oh, here, steal my assignment, right? I've had kids say, well, they weren't supposed to plagiarize. I just let them look at my essay to get ideas. It just looks to me like maybe you said, here, take my assignment. So allowing someone else to copy your work, if you are the person that the plagiarism comes from. So if Jimmy and Sally both have the exact same assignment, both Jimmy and Sally are getting 0s. Reusing work of your own for multiple assignments. This one's more of a college thing. But, sometimes a teacher will say, I know you wrote an essay about this in 8th grade, but I'd like you to write a different essay for this class. Just with this one, make sure you know the expectations of your teacher. Reusing someone else's past work. So if you know someone who took a class before or who did an essay like the one you have to do and you reuse that, that's just complete plagiarism. Paying someone else to do your work, getting paid to do someone's work, not citing your sources, taking copyrighted images, anything, and using them without citing them. That is all plagiarism. So there's different kinds. There's direct, and that's just straight copy paste. You don't change it, you don't do anything, you just take it. All right, and this is a chunk of an article, and it's the same on either side, so it's just highlighting that it's directly stolen. Indirect plagiarism. It's using another student's work as reference, accepting other person's completed work, whether you borrowed it or paid for it. So somebody wrote it, but it's not you. So the dollar sign is here to show that somebody paid for this text. Paraphrasing plagiarism. This is when you paraphrase a piece of work, but you don't attribute the original ideas to the source they came from, or when you paraphrase by just changing a few words around. This one is easily fixable. Although you want to get out of the habit in high school before you head off to higher education, because in this case, if it's my class, I'll just go up to you and say, I can't tell where this came from. You're using statistics that I know you don't know off the top of your head. Where did you get this all from? And I'll ask you to put a citation in there. You sophomores, I know I did that for you in your research paper. So this one's fixable, but try to get out of the habit of doing this. Make sure if you are paraphrasing, you are just putting the citation in there right away. So, yeah. Mosaic or patchwork plagiarism. Again, this one is fixable. You're mostly typing your own stuff, but you are borrowing specific phrases. You don't have the citations, or you don't have quotations around the specific phrases that you're borrowing. Or if you just take the author's words and you thesaurus like every other word, it's called mosaic or patchwork, because it's kind of like you're building a quilt out of all these little different pieces of work. But you have to write your own things. And if you are using somebody else's idea, you have to quotation mark it and cite it. So like this, in this sentence, it says, Instagram has grown to more than 1 billion monthly users. It has ushered in a very particular aesthetic. Maybe you didn't know what aesthetic means, and so you said this has made a particular style popular, right? It's the same thing, right? Read what they have and then come up with your own ideas about it. Accidental plagiarism. Now you might be thinking, Ms. Candy, oh my God, we have to accidental. I don't even know I'm doing plagiarism in that case. I know, but this one is super easy to fix, because I'll look at your paper, kind of like the mosaic or whatever it was. I'll be like, hey, you need a citation. Paraphrase. That's what I was thinking, because of the paraphrase. Plagiarism. It's like that. I'll look at your work, be like, this looks like a quote. You have it in quotation marks. You just don't have a citation. Put one in there. Again, a good thing to just get out of the habit of. If you're putting in quotation marks, if you're putting in a quote, put in your source, your citation right away. So in this case, we have this yellow phrase, but there's no citation after it right there. I would just say, hey, you need your internal citation. Self-plagiarism, that's the one where it might happen more, or might be more of a concern in higher education or college. Just check out the policy, ask your teacher, or maybe it's in their syllabus when you get to higher education, they say you cannot use blah, blah, blah. All right, just make sure you know where you stand on that. So I think the most important part of this whole presentation is, why do people plagiarize? Why? Right? It's wrong. It's bad. Jesus hates it. I hate it too. So why do people still do it? Well, the first reason may be that the person who's plagiarizing has bad time management. All right? Don't manage your time. And maybe in this e-learning, you're thinking, oh, sweet, I can wake up at 10 a.m. I can stay up till 3 a.m. This is going to be awesome. All right, but then things will creep up on you. Okay, so the thought process is it's not due until tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Or, we're not actually in school. I can just wake up late, or I can do work later. I can finish things last minute, blah, 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 whatever. All right. But what happens is suddenly your deadlines are creeping up on you. All right. So in e-learning, my deadlines are probably always going to be midnight, and you have to get it in by midnight because those time markers help us take attendance. So it has to be there by midnight. And suddenly, yeah, you're going to stay up till 3 a.m., but it's 11:55, and you're like, shoot, right? 3 a.m. doesn't help me, right? Your assignment takes more time than anticipated. So, I mean, you're getting an assignment from me every day. You don't have in-class time to work on it and ask me questions and have me look over it. I mean, if you send something to me with a note saying, hey, will you look over what I did? I'll look at it. But now learning is more in your hands. And what might have taken you an hour when you had all the support you need at school may take you like 2 hours or 2.5 hours. It all depends. There are going to be a lot of distractions for you during e-learning. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of distractions for me. All right. Or unforeseen things coming up. You need to hammer down. So how that all leads to plagiarism is you feel a time crunch and you just copy to get the assignment done. Or maybe because this is the end of the school year, you want to try to fix the grades that were awful and you're trying to scramble to turn in a lot of late stuff. And so you just kind of turn in whatever and you cheat on it and, however you do it. The second thing may be a lack of emotional management. So a lot of you are panicky. I see that in my classroom, and I try to help you through it. But now that you are, quarantined, you have a lot of time to think, right? You have a lot of time to stress. You have a lot of time to say, I don't feel like doing this. This is stupid. I can't do anything. So you neglect your work. You avoid your work with distractions. You get maybe stuck in an anxiety spiral. All right. For all you students out there right now with mental illness, take care of yourself during this time. Make sure you're doing those self-care things. All right. And that's another thing. If you feel comfortable emailing me about, please let me know, because being sort of trapped in your house or trapped in your own mind, it gets intense. All right. But don't let that lead you to plagiarism. All right. Don't let that lead you to kind of tanking yourself, like I said. So if you see your assignments piling up, you might want to copy just to get some out of the way. Or right now, if you have this really, I don't care attitude, whatever, I don't feel like doing this, this is stupid, you might just cheat. Or, as weird as it sounds, some kids are like, shoot, I'm failing anyway, I might as well do crap work because it doesn't even matter. Control your emotions, right? Give yourself a plan, a schedule. Give yourself a routine. That's one of the most important things you can do during this time, is to have a routine. So here's the anxiety spiral. All right, I provide this resource to you on Google Classroom when I'm done, so you can look at that more. The other thing is lack of effort, and I think this is probably one of the most common ones I see. All right, a lot of attitude, like, oh, school sucks, I don't care, I need to get out of here, whatever. All right. Or the lack of effort of finding out whether it is plagiarism, or lack of effort to do the actual work that it takes to make sure it's not plagiarism, right? So maybe you'll think, well, I'll just copy this quote and I'll get, the 10 points, 15 points off the assignment, right? It's going to make extra work. I'll just, whip it out, call it good. Or maybe like, I don't really understand what the assignment's asking for. I don't really understand what this article is saying. So, I'll just get my buddy to share the answers. That's fine. So what happens is, like, if you don't care about it, you start to leave your assignments for last minute. Or if you just kind of take the lazy way out and you don't go to find your sources, you'll be like, whatever, it'll be a few points off. You don't ask for help. You just kind of get into that meh, good enough, whatever attitude. Then that can lead to plagiarism. Because you want to avoid doing extra work, right? I know extra work sucks, but it's integrity, all right? It's academic integrity. Or you might be afraid to look stupid, so you'd rather cheat than ask for help, all right? In case you're wondering, here are my sources. My time is running out in this video. But I just wanted you all to be aware of these things as we go into e-learning.